everybody and welcome to the YouTube channel of Econstruct Design and Build Private Limited. This is Shraddha and Sandeep, and today we are here to address the most commonly asked question on our YouTube channel in the comment box. The very recent question that I have got, and I keep getting this actually, is can we really make career in the structures line? That is the question. So today Mr. Sandeep, who is our founder and managing director and who is a very passionate structural engineer who has been involved in training so many engineers in India and abroad to make a successful career in the structures. So let us find out more from him, since he also holds unlimited structures license. He is a successful entrepreneur in the field of structures as a structural consultant, and who has worked with Indian and international clients also. So how was this journey for you? And to address the main question, I mean, many of the freshers are asking, is it even possible as a fresher? How can I start as a structural engineer? Is there any scope? And how is the salary? And whether it is worth it? That's the main question.
See, I'll tell you that if a civil engineer is not becoming a structural engineer, then who will become? Will the electronics engineer will become? Whether the IT person will become? No. I mean, only the civil engineers can become the structural engineers.
Right.
By a qualification.
Correct.
If you are having a degree, proper engineering college degree certificate, I'm not talking about MTech. I'm talking about just the degree certificate.
BTech
degree
BTech
certificate.
Civil.
Then you are eligible to go inside the career line as a structural engineer. Yes, some people, some companies, they ask for the masters, I mean the MTech course actually. But it is not mandatory. If you want to do the business or something like that, later on you can easily, go for that MTech course. That's not a problem. But basically you should know the job. That's very important. And that can be started ideally after the diploma or BTech only. Okay, because certifications will not give you the opportunities as a structural engineer. The opportunities will come to you as a structural engineer only if you are having the domain expertise. Software expertise, I mean, it is constituted by the software expertise, codal expertise, site-related expertise, as well as, the structural engineering is comparatively the niche field.
Exactly.
In which, any other person actually who is not having the zeal and the passion towards the structures, he will not become a structural engineer.
Right.
Okay, because there are, thousands of different parameters that you need to check.
It's a judgmental science.
It's a judgmental science actually. So that's the reason it is very important that you should look inside that do I really want to become a structural engineer? If the answer is really yes, and if you are having that judgmental science passion, analytical mind also is required, because you required a lot of analysis to be done on the computer. Make sure that you are creating the model. You actually, as a betna, but then you should actually sit down at one particular place to make sure that how the behavior of the building is happening. If you are giving this parameter, then how does it behave? If you are giving another parameter, how does it behave? So it requires, because sometimes actually I still remember one of the project which we were doing in Delhi Marriott Hotel, actually almost more than 100 times actually I have to do that different types of analysis. Why? Because the model shape was becoming so weird in many places. There are so many fictitious and dummy modes were there, because the project as a structure itself was very, very complex. There were 3 stages of the transfer girders. And you really require, I still remember almost 6-7 o'clock in the evening I started that analysis, and next day almost 9-10 o'clock actually I almost like more than 100 different files actually I have created for my own thing. And it really become at one particular point of time I really felt, oh my God, I never came across such kind of complex model in my life. So what happens is many people who are not having that kind of patience actually, they will not be able to cope up with this. So it is not the MTech will teach you this.
Exactly.
It is basically, you should have that kind of passion, zeal and the passion, then only you can become a
and patience, and followed by a lot of practice and relevant experience. And another commonly asked question, I mean, many people are doing MTech structures and giving these comments on our channel that I am MTech structures, I'm not getting a job as in the structures line. I'm a fresher, I don't have much experience. Everyone is saying you are a fresher MTech, so we are not getting job. And not only this, but MTech structures people are compelled to go back to a side job, and then they're frustrated because 2 years of extra studies, 2 years of extra time, energy, money, everything gone, and finally not making career in structures is frustrating many people.
Yes,
and then it's a dead end. So how to deal, I mean, what is the right way to start? If I'm a fresher MTech structures, how do I get started? What is the right way?
Because there is a lot of category of मुझे अभी जॉब नहीं मिल रहा है तो मैं चलो स्ट्रक्चर करता हूँ एमटेक में. So they are doing it just by
to get PG certification,
just to get a certificate actually, which is a big trap. So just by adding, because you need to see that initially you have invested 4 years, what you have learned within those 4 years. If you are not learned certain things, you learn it now. Instead of again going back to the subjects, because after doing the BTech, if you want to do the real proper MTech from a reputed college, you have to take at least 6 to 8 months or 1 year gap to go for GATE examination. In the GATE examination, it is actually U-turn in which you will learn all the subjects again one more time, because you might have forgotten so many subjects. And after doing that, again you have to take the admission. So 1 year preparation it has gone in the GATE examination, and then again 2 years of the course, which is the MTech structures course. In the MTech structures course, unfortunately, in many part of India, actually, there are some private colleges, they are changing. But certain colleges still, ये जो course content है, that actually is a little bit rudimentary. It is, it is not based on the technology based, it is not based on the domain expertise based or related to the actual, project or the structural engineering consultants, what they really require in the industry. It is not inclined towards that. It is more inclined towards the subjects like finite element systems or advanced analysis systems and all actually. Whereas advanced analysis is happening, a lot of mathematics is required. Required to solve 100 by 100 matrix. Can you solve it manually? You cannot solve it manually. You require different softwares for that. So obviously you have to take software expertise into the place. Okay, because forget about 100 by 100 matrix, 4 by 4 matrix also solving किसी professor को बताओ या किसी मुझे भी बताओ, actually it is very difficult to solve this actually.
Yes.
And you might commit certain mistakes and answers would be wrong. So let us use certain tools in such a way that you are solving this kind of mathematical expressions. You are not into the mathematics. You are into the giving the what is the problem and getting the solutions basically. And the software is a tool which is proven, tested mechanism tool. So coming back to your question is like, MTech is not fetching the job because you are doing MTech not because of the passion. You are just doing it for the sake of PG. Point number 1.
No, but another problem is they are learning too many subjects there. It is like puzzle. They have so many puzzles and they don't know how to put it together in order to give the output.
That is another thing. See, in the BTech engineering, what happens is geotechnical engineering, geological engineering, strength of materials, theory of structures. These are different subjects. They do not know how to link with that. As a structure, actually, see, imagine that I am a builder. For me, everything is one only as a project. But for you as a student, there is a geotechnical engineering, geological engineering. The rock aata hai. If there is a rock, there is a geology. If there is a soil, there is geotechnical. If there is a water and all related problems and there. And if there are site related issues, there is a construction techniques and management. So these are different subjects. How you can collaborate with all the subjects? We unfortunately in the BTech and MTech, in almost all the colleges, all the engineering colleges, there is no single project handedly it has been taken that you combine 3, 4 or 5 to 8 subjects together to solve the project. But that is really required.
That is the main problem.
That is the main problem.
Practical exposure is missing. Only theory and marks and certification is taking the
and that toll. Theory and those marks and all, actually, we don't need that.
Exactly.
We don't need that.
As an employer, we just need, as an employer, actually, every consultant is expecting you to do the project from start to end.
Correct.
And should be able to handle the team and should be able to handle the presentation, reports and everything independently.
Correct.
So rather than only marks, I'm not saying that marks and certifications have zero value, but that's not something.
Limited scope.
Right? Yeah, it has limited scope, because until and unless you have real work experience on certain projects, and students can easily get internships for getting
exactly.
that.
See, generally I used to give that example. If I wanted to have a Ola cab driver, मैं उसको ये क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा कि भैया ड्राइवरी सीखा कहाँ से है, या कितने साल का ड्राइवरी एक्सपीरियंस है. I will ask the question, कितने साल चलाया है भैया.
Exactly.
Okay, do you have international driving license? I will not ask these questions. Okay, why? Because driving is a experiential knowledge, and structural engineering is also experiential knowledge.
Judgmental science.
Judgment, actually. How much is the distance between both the cars? When you are stopping the car at the license at the
parking lot or anywhere.
So there is no specific distance. You don't take the measurement. Okay, 2 meter hai, then it is okay. You take a judgment. Like that. What is the size of the column? What is the size of the beam? What is the thickness of the foundation? What are the different grades of concrete I should be taking? This particular contractor is not good. Actually, I need to increase the grade of concrete so that, even if 3 to 4 Newton per mm square, if it is coming less, it is okay. Okay, that kind of judgment, you will get it only if you are having the experiential knowledge. And as a consultant, I'd like to tell you, you go to any institute for learning the courses and all, you should have authority that I have an unlimited license, I am a structural consultant, I have this particular software expertise. Then only you should be learning from those people. Otherwise, what is happening, I'll tell you, if you go to the professors, they are very good into the subject domain expertise. I'm not saying they are not good. They are extremely good into, let's say, surveying knowledge. They are good into SOM, TOS. If you ask any kind of questions, they are able to solve it. Because they are expert into those areas to solve the university syllabus areas. But this is not what we require. What we require is, let's say there is a surveying and all, actually this is a hilly rock area, actually you give me the entire 3D plane to find out, the levels, vertical levels as well as horizontal levels. Okay, recently we have done one project in Gujarat, actually there is a bridge, and we have done the surveying. The surveyor has done the blunderous mistake that he has done only horizontal survey, whereas the bridge requires vertical survey levels also. Okay, so believe me, if we would have taken the bridge by, focusing that the survey reports were perfect, as a structural engineer, I should not be teaching any surveyor. That's not my job. Alright, as a surgeon, actually, you should not be thinking that the blood reports might be wrong. But as a domain expert person, you should know that, oh my God, this report is not correct. You should take the second opinion immediately, otherwise the patient is going to die.
Correct.
So that kind of, presence of mind, domain expertise related thing is definitely required as a structural engineer. And if you are not getting that, then it becomes a failure to the project, and you will be.
It's difficult to even get into the interview.
Correct.
If you don't have the right expertise, if you have not learned on job, if you have not done the projects, at least through internships during your BTech and MTech. So I would suggest that on-the-job internships definitely works, and our company provides so many on-job internships when we visit colleges through placement drives, and otherwise also if you would like to learn in an on-the-job environment, then our company provides master study in structural engineering training, which is completely hands-on learning program where you get experience of working under the team of Mr. Sandeep himself, and you get exposure on RCC steel composite structure. You get involved in the whole life cycle of the project, right from centerline plan to GFC, and you work on Indian and international codes also here.
Yes. See, let me tell you that many people are aspiring to go abroad. Even I was there in Dubai for 6 years.
Yes.
Do you think that I was having a degree there, certificate there? I was not having. I was just having a plain degree certificate.
BTech, not MTech.
From India, Pune University. So this particular university itself is equipped to go for you to go abroad, to take the profession there. Actually, being a structural engineer, it is definitely possible. It is not required that I should do MTech from or MS from US. ये जो ना ये हुआ बना के रखा है.
It's a myth.
It's a myth. What is happening is actually, if I'm going to US, if I'm having this degree, then I will get this thing, then I will have that thing. That is not something. Don't live in the la la land. Try to live on the subtle areas. Civil engineering line is a very subtle line. It's a very practical line. Okay, you do not need a lot of certification, and
and things can't be undone here.
Yeah,
like in
yeah.
IT or computer science,
Exactly.
we undo. But
yeah, that is also another thing. But subtle is something is different actually. It really requires, rather than a glossy thing. Subtleness actually will give you, because ultimately the foundation you are not putting in onto the air somewhere actually. You have to deal with the day-to-day, site related problems. At the same time, as you said rightly, if you go to the computer science, or if you go to any other industry, you can easily undo. Program is not right. You delete these lines, you put another lines, you delete these lines, again you start from the scratch. This is definitely possible, nobody is dying there. But imagine, you have started constructing the Burj Khalifa or any high-rise building, 40, 50 story building, and you, oh my God, I missed these piles. Then what do? So you cannot undo certain things.
And a lot of money is gone and client will be on your head.
Yes.
A lot of legal stuff will also come in between.
Yes, ultimately you will ruin the career basically.
Yes.
It's gone. Okay, that's the reason. Because the life of the people is on stake.
So structures engineers we compare with doctors also.
Yes. Because here one patient will die, here thousands will die.
Correct.
Not only the same building, but probably to the neighboring building.
Correct.
It has happened with so many people actually. So that's why it comes with the responsibility. And it is not like actually, one project is, let's say, some 1 lakh square foot. So let's say your fees is like 10 rupees per square foot, so 10 lakhs. And how many drawings are there? So let's say 40, 50 drawings, so per drawing is how much? It is not like that. It is the responsibility. Something goes wrong, I am responsible. If you go to the doctor, initially he will take the waiver form. If something goes wrong, I am not responsible. I tried. Okay, but if you go to the structural engineering,
he's liable.
If something goes wrong, I am responsible.
And his structural engineer's signature is also having so much value.
Yes.
Once you gain that level of experience, without your signature, site cannot move forward.
Site cannot move ahead.
Yes.
And I'll tell you very honestly, particularly in structural areas, there are certain stability certificate as well as the compliance certificates, and many other things are coming it up in a very big way. Make sure that
especially after the earthquakes and all.
Yes. It is very responsible career basically. So being other engineers, for example, environmental engineers, or if you go to the project management and something, those kind of areas, the compliances issue is different. Whereas structures, actually the compliances issue is different. So a lot of weightage is given for the stability and this kind of compliances. So definitely the scope is there, the requirement is there, the value is there. Okay, so as a civil engineer, if you ask me, if you take the pyramid, this is at the peak level. It is at the Everest top level career actually, because you are controlling, let's say for example, the project cost is 1 crore. So 50 to 60 lakh rupees is there in the hands of the structural engineer. Okay, where to put the money? In foundation, how much? In columns, how much? In the slabs, beams, how much? So that kind of money actually is flowing in the direction where the structural engineer is formulating. So of course it comes with a lot of responsibility. That's how it is.
Thank you so much. I hope we answered your questions, because so many people commented on our structures videos that is it really possible to make a career in spite of doing MTech, we are not getting a job as a structural engineer. To sum up, I would just say that MTech is a degree. Of course, maybe it will help you somewhere, but that's not the only thing which will help you to make a successful career as a structural engineer. Maybe it is just a one step, but beyond that lies your passion.
10 to 15 years back, getting admission into the MTech was, very difficult situation. But now this is not a situation now anymore. So I would suggest, just after doing BTech, or I would suggest that, if you completed second year, if you are entering into the third year, this is the best time that you should be learning, let's say, structures or a project management or a BIM technology. So before you complete the BTech, you will have a jobs in hand.
Exactly. Yeah, and we have experienced that. We are experiencing every day through our on-job trainings.
We have done that.
We have done that.
Experience.
We have done it. Yeah.
Okay. So we are not buttering ourselves. I'd like to tell, we are having witnesses, we are having records, we are having mobile, their numbers and everything. Actually, whomsoever comes to us, actually we make sure they are expert into the domain expertise, like software expertise, codal expertise, then different project expertise, like low-rise building, high-rise building, mid-rise building, foundation engineering, soil structure interaction, stability checks. All these things, we make sure that a lot of experience the people will be having. Okay, so whenever he goes to any particular interview, it becomes inevitable. The job becomes obvious. Okay, so
and just by looking at the portfolio, they are getting back-to-back calls for interview, and they are 50% selection is done just by looking at their portfolios and CVs and things like that.
Nahi hai. See, I'll tell you very honestly, I am also a consultant. If somebody is MTech, okay, if he is demanding like 50,000-80,000 rupees job, if another person is BTech and have done this, these many software expertise, these many projects and all, obviously he will give him the chance because he has done just the BTech, for example.
But he's able to do the work. And he's able to do our job at the end of the day.
Yes. Ultimately, I don't care who is MTech or who is BTech. I care that can he able to deliver, because there is nothing called undo. That's what I wanted to say.
Exactly. So thank you very much. If you have more questions, feel free to write in the comment box, and we'll make sure that we reply in the comment box. And if required, we will also make a video on a particular question that you have about making career in the structures line. Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Yeah.